Hi, my name's Allison. If you're just starting your journey into the land of special education and you're not really clear about what an IEP is, this video is for you. In this video, I want to help you understand what an IEP is, the difference between an IEP and a 504 plan, some basic record keeping, and how to request that your child be evaluated for special education services. An IEP literally stands for an individualized education plan. It literally is a document that looks like this. It's a plan that you and the school-based IEP team write to help your child access the curriculum. But before we get to this, I want to talk to you about some basic things. It is your right to request that your child be evaluated for special education services. It's your legal right to do that. I want to repeat that. You have the right to request that your child be evaluated for eligibility for special education services. It is the obligation of a school district to identify every child in their district with a disability. If you suspect that your child has a disability, you have the right to request that your child be evaluated. However, you must do that request in writing. You may have had several conversations with staff about your concerns, or maybe even requested verbally, but you need to do that in writing, or it's like the conversation never occurred at all. So before you get to that point, I want to tell you about some very basic record keeping that you should start with. I encourage you to start a notebook about your child. I'll do a separate video about this in more detail, but right now I want to talk to you about 3 sections. The first section will be for work samples that you think demonstrate the problem that you're seeing with your child. The other section I want you to keep is for emails. I want you to start collecting those emails with a teacher where they're sharing with you about how your child is doing. So you'll have a section on communications. The third section that I want to talk about today is journaling. I want you to start keeping a log of observations that you have about your child at home. So you mark the date and the time and write down what you saw. For example, your child doesn't bring home all the books that they need to do their homework. They don't know how to get started. They can't pay attention very long. They can't read the directions on their own. That they can't independently do their homework. That it's taking longer than you think it should. They're not reading with fluency. They don't know basic math facts. Whatever the issue is that you see with your child, start documenting it in the notebook by date. So those are the 3 sections to start that I want you to keep about requesting evaluation of your child. This is when you go to the notebook. So you write to your school district, email the director of special education, even copy the principal, that you are requesting that your child be evaluated for special education. And then you need to state a reason why. So then you go to your notebook and you cite some examples, some evidence that this is why I'm concerned about this. You are requesting this evaluation. So you've done this in writing. Now, one thing I want you to know about the process is there are federal regulations and state regulations. And state regulations can be different from state to state with regard to timelines and even eligibility criteria. You need to go to your state website, get information about those specific timelines and eligibility criteria. Your director of special education in your school district should have that information for you. So this is just the first step, that you're requesting evaluation for your child, and you will start learning about the process. So I need you to understand that you're going to take just one step at a time. I also want to explain to you the difference between an IEP and a 504 plan. This is a very brief description between the two. A 504 plan, first of all, comes under the American with Disabilities Act, Section 504. And an IEP plan comes under the statute of IDEA. So the authority is from 2 separate laws. Both a 504 plan and an IEP means that your child has been identified with a disability. A 504 plan simply provides accommodations. While they can be extensive, they're just accommodations such as extra time, preferential seating, access to word processor, checks for understanding, access to teacher notes, audiobooks, opportunity to respond orally, access to frequent breaks. Whatever the accommodations that your child needs would be listed on a 504 plan. An IEP means that the eligibility team has determined that your child's disability is such that they need access to targeted instruction and additional supports that would only be available to them them through special education. That is really basic difference between a 504 plan and IEP. I hope that helps you understand the difference between the two. So the last thing that I want to tell you is that as you start this journey, don't be overwhelmed by all the information, because you're going to take this one step at a time. And the first step is how to request that your child be evaluated. And the next step would be to learn about the next meeting that you will go to and about what your rights are. It's very important that you learn the process, and I really want to help you do that, because I think with some very basic information, you will be more able to level the playing field between you and the school district and get better access for your child to special education services. But I also want to tell you, when you go to that first meeting and you're sitting in the room and you're sitting there thinking, I don't know anything about this process. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what we're supposed to be doing. I want you to look around the room and remember who this meeting is about. This meeting is about your child. Who knows your child better than you do? No one. You are actually the only expert in the room, because this meeting is about your child. Remember that. You're the expert in the room, and I want to help you access information that you need to be a successful advocate for your child. I want to tell you, you are going to be a great advocate for your child, because you're the expert and you can do this. My name's Allison. Thanks for watching. I'm going to be uploading more videos, so feel free to check those out, and I want to help you become a great advocate for your child.